A warm welcome. A warm welcome to the good morning. A warm welcome to the third day of ATAL Online Faculty Development Program. Today, we are pleased to have two insightful and engaging sessions planned for our participants. The first session from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. will be on nutrition across the lifespan from womb to wisdom, and our resource person will be Mrs. Sanjana M. Shenoy. The second session of the day is from 11:30 to 1 p.m. and the topic is Mindset Matters, the Psychology of Health and Healing, and our resource person will be Dr. Aishwarya VH. Now we are starting with the first session of the day. It's our pleasure and honor to introduce our resource person, Mrs. Sanjana M. Shenoy, a well-known nutritionist expert, academician, and health and wellness professional. Born and brought up in Mangalore, Mrs. Sanjana Shenoy has completed her postgraduate diploma in dietetics from Manipal University and her MSc in dietetics and food service management from IGNOU. She is currently registered for PhD under Mangalore University, reflecting her strong commitment to research and academic excellence. She has gained valuable clinical experience by working at KMC Hospital, Mangalore, and has been actively involved in general health and wellness counseling. Mrs. Sanjana Shenoy has also served as a guest speaker at several reputed educational institutions, including NITE, KMC, Yenopaya, and many others. She regularly addresses parents, students, teachers in schools, organizations to create awareness on health, nutrition, and healthy lifestyle practices. Mrs. Sanjana is a familiar face in the media and public health communication. She hosted her own television program, Diet Tips with Sanjana Shenoy, on Daiji TV and frequently participates in live and recorded programs on All India Radio and V4 local television channels. She communicates effectively in different languages, enabling her to reach the diverse audience. Her professional contribution also extends to sports nutrition, where she supports Swimming and Badminton Association in Mangalore, providing nutritional guidance to athletes. In academics, Mrs. Sanjana has served as an assistant professor and head of the department at Besant College and Sridevi College, leading the departments of food, nutrition, dietetics, and food technology. She also works as a visiting dietitian to several leading hospitals in Mangalore, including Yenopaya Hospital, Ethanna Hospital, City Hospital, and Tejaswini Hospital. Mrs. Shenoy is a regular speaker at corporate community and professional events, having conducted sessions for organizations such as Infosys, Family Doctors Association, Lions Club, Mom and Me of Mahindra Retail, MCF, MRPL, and many others. Her key focus area include diabetes management, cholesterol control, weight management, and lifestyle modification. With her extensive experience in clinical practice, academics, media outreach, and community engagement, Mrs. Sanjana M. Shenoy contributes to inspire individuals and organizations to adopt a healthier and a more informed lifestyles. We are honored to have Mrs. Sanjana M. Shenoy as our esteemed resource person today. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. A warm welcome is also for all the participants. And now I request our resource person to address our participants. Over to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you very much for the very warm welcome. A very good morning to one and all. It's wonderful to be back in this institution where I have delivered a lot of talks. And this continues to be my journey towards giving the right message to all fellow women all over India. So this program which says, the topic which says on that's life skills for women's professional excellence. Uh, when you look at a woman, the first thing you know is the amount of work she puts in, the amount of energy she needs, how much of strength, mental strength, physical strength. So all this is what comes when only one person eats right, right? Not only with your mental excellence, you require your physical excellence also. So the topic which has been given to me, which I think is a wonderful topic, that is nutrition across. Okay. Nutrition across the lifespan from womb to wisdom. So, as we know, so proper nutrition is the cornerstone of a woman's health, vitality, and ability to thrive at every stage of life. So, when we see that women are well nourished, families flourish, and communities prosper. So, the nutrition base starts from the woman. Okay, if a woman is taken well care of, that's when the whole family eats well, the whole family grows well, and the whole family lives very healthily. So, what are the nutritional challenges that we all see that in India? Most of the women, as we know, take a lot of time. That is, they dedicate their time at the kitchen, at work, and so many other commitments. But then, because of this, a lot of challenges arise. For example, there's something called as energy deficit. A lot of women sacrifice food for the welfare of their family. Many of them could be undernourished or even overnourished, which both are extreme problems at different ends. There's still anemia. We're in the 21st century, but still we are dealing with anemia and many other nutritional problems. So these statistics, if you see, it looks like a silent crisis. See, women are known to, although to express a lot, but still, when it comes to their health and mental well-being, they usually back off. It's always the family first, the child first, the man at home first, the environment or the area around them first. It's always them at the last. But then, I do not say we need to put them all over, the other people, but then we need to have equality when it comes to food or when it comes to mental health or when it comes to the lifestyle choices. So to overcome these challenges, we need to understand how we can improve our life around this. So let's understand how the life cycle of a woman is. You can see that, of course, it starts from infancy. We see adolescence. Now, if you see in infancy, I'm not going to talk much about infancy and childhood because the nutritional requirements for a boy and a girl remains the same. There's not much of a difference. The actual challenge starts after adolescence. But then there are a lot of problems that one has to deal with a child when being born, as especially as a girl child. There are differences that a person can experience. So that is why we will discuss all this. But nutritionally, the requirements of a boy and a girl up till 10 years remains the same. Once the child attains adolescence, this is when the challenges start, where there's growth happening, there's rapid growth happening. All these usually contribute to a lot of health issues, or also not, it also gives us the target on how we can improve their health. Because at this age, at adolescence, if they don't eat healthy, especially the girls, the whole phases that are coming next, that is young adulthood, where most women have children, or middle age, where most women are going to start perimenopause or then get into menopause. All these ages are affected. It's just like how you have steps in a building. If you don't get the first step right, then you cannot take the other steps that come across. So same way, you need to first deal with the second life stage, that is adolescence. If you teach the girl to eat right, then every step becomes quite smooth. Okay, so young adulthood is usually we consider 20 to 35. Middle age, we usually look at 35 to 50 years. All right. And post that, anytime around the mid 40s and over is where we look at the age of menopause, and another phase that is called post menopause. So around this time, every phase has unique requirements. For women, it's not only that the 20s are just being young adults, but also this is a crucial time where pregnancies happen. Most of the women right now are also opting to have children late. So again, it's it's sleeped into the, what do you say, that is the 30s. The problems are moving to the 30s now. Initially, the problems of pregnancy was only in the 20s, but now it's going to 30s and the 40s. So all these are unique problems that have started arising. So we need to understand how to bridge this gap nutritionally, how we can allow every step of the nutritional stage, to how we can meet the challenges of these people, so that we can improve nutritional status at every stage. So why women's nutrition matters? First thing is enhanced immunity. If there's strong nutrition, see, as we know, strong nutrition boosts immunity. It reduces susceptibility to illnesses and dramatically improves overall quality of life and daily functioning. So, if a woman is healthy, she gives rise to the healthier generations. So, well nourished mothers experience healthier pregnancies. So, it is a cycle. A undernourished mother giving birth to an undernourished girl, it is a vicious cycle. The cycle continues. So we need to break this cycle when it comes to undernourishment. So better the nutrition results in healthier generations. Whether the mother is having a male child or a female child, both the generations become healthier. Not only that, the outcome of the delivery, that also is very important, that children develop healthier. So that is why I mentioned healthier generations. Not only that, if women are healthy, they are empowered, right? Because they are able to fulfill multiple roles in family, at workplace, and society, and we can improve our socio-economic development and progress. So we can drive the socio-economic development and progress. So how do we go about the lifestyle approach, okay, for the women? So nutrition needs change over time. As I've already mentioned that adolescence, it's a crucial period for growth where iron and calcium needs reach their peak to support bone development and hormonal changes. A lot of girls neglect this phase. Okay, they underestimate the requirements of this phase. Not only that, a lot of parents think that any child below 20 can eat anything. So that is where the challenges start. If the nutritional needs are what do you say, not monitored in these ages, that is where the problem starts. Why? In adolescence, that's where maturities, all these nutrients play a very, very critical role. And so we need to teach the child to eat healthy at this phase. So next comes, as I said, pregnancy and lactation. So if a child is eaten healthy in the teens, then there are healthier pregnancies. If the woman is taken well care of during pregnancy and lactation, then she has better chances during subsequent pregnancies as well as the future needs. So if a woman is not taken good care, for example, let's say if she has severe calcium deficiency during pregnancy, the child becomes also deficient in calcium, then the woman herself continues along with the calcium deficiency into stages of osteoporosis in the future. So all this has to be addressed. Most of the time we say, let's after 40, let's think about calcium. No, calcium starts as early as when the child is born or when a child is conceived, or has to be repaired as soon as possible at every stage in the life. So, what could be the barriers that could be causing these problems? First thing could be poverty. Okay, although we live in such big places, or first tier, second tier cities, but still poverty is there with us. There's a lot of food insecurity. A lot of families, maybe due to ignorance also, and lack of affordability also to nutritious food. So there is a little disparity. Usually we've seen that, especially if the girl is the eldest child, then a little sacrifices are done to feed the younger children. So not only that, there could be economic problems such as, or lack of access to food programs. A lot of food programs are misused, which I've seen personally in my own studies, where a lot of food programs are not implemented well. So the right for nutrition for a girl child is coming down if these programs are not implemented properly. Not only that, there's lack of livelihood support. Then so if the livelihoods of the women at home are also supported, it's not just the men, the children eat better. So that disparity should be brought down as much as possible. So support the livelihoods, implement better school feeding programs. If we all are anywhere close to such programs, it would be good to help and see if such programs are implemented. Then we also see this, still even in this time, there's a lot of gender discrimination. So there could be any cultural problems, although we may not personally experience this, but this is there, that is still happening around. So not only that, even now early marriages are still prevalent. So early marriages, if for us would be the 20s, but right now there is still a lot of teens getting married. So what would happen is, if the teen is pregnant during teenagehood, she has double requirement. She has to grow as well as carry a baby. So all these cause very complex problems, very, very complex problems. But then, of course, we may think our grandmothers have done it, so many generations have done it. But then the burden is being felt now. We are seeing so many health problems that are coming now. Maybe those generations managed to somehow overcome and get through it, but it is not happening now. So that is why we still need to discuss this. Not only that, there is a lack of awareness about what a child should eat, especially a girl child. So we think that anything that's cooked at home is great. Of course it's good, but then are we giving right nutrients? Do we need to change if the girl is an adolescent? Of course, usually during pregnancies, women are taken better care of. Okay. But then what about before and what about after? Nobody thinks of that. Nobody eats to get pregnant. Nobody thinks on those terms. So all that has to be planned very well. Not only that, if she's planning to have multiple children, she needs to see that whatever the ages between that, also she eats well, so that the children that are produced, whether it's two or three or so or any number, are healthy. Okay, although we're all opting for one child, most of us opt for one or two, but still, whatever the children that are coming subsequently should be healthy, only if the woman is eating well before, during, and after the pregnancy. So all this are all interlinked. So women's diet is mostly interlinked, we say. So every link is very important. There's one missing link and the whole level shatters, right? So not only that, a lot of awareness right now. See, sometimes when we go on community work, uh, we find it very odd that there are so many resources around them which they're not using, right? There are so many trees, there are so many plants, there are so many fruits which can be used. But right now, most of us do not want to listen to the older generation. Not are we, open to adapting new practices. So somewhere we are resistant, or there are a lot of environments where there's resistance to change when it comes to eating habits, especially in local communities. So this is where we can do a bit of our work. You can carry the message and you can help them out regarding the same. Not only that, limited healthcare access, but this is very less right now. It's a lot of improvements are happening. So being open minded, understanding these programs can all help in understanding how we can improve the nutritional status of women. So let us look at the nutrition for a girl child. So this is where we lay a very, very strong foundation. So proper nutrition in childhood and adolescence is crucial for physical health, growth, cognitive development, and disease prevention. This sets the stage for a healthy adult life. Not only that, a lot of essential nutrients are very important. Now, this may look a little repetitive, where I may keep saying iron, calcium, and protein, but then these are required, but they would be required in different amounts in different phases. So when I meet clients, when I see the age of the child, I usually see, okay, is the child a teen, or is the child a very young girl, that is and is she in the early 20s? So all these are unique requirements, right? Not only that, they some children would be into sports, they would be athletics, some of them would be into different activities. So we need to address all these issues which are there. So that is why so for these requirements, there is always requirement of increased iron, calcium, and protein, because rapid growth, bone development, and to prevent conditions like anemia. Okay, even in the urban areas, even now we are still dealing with anemia. So it's a small, the crossover, nutritional barrier is what I say. This usually we see anemia thinking that it should be somewhere in the rural areas, but it is still prevalent in the urban areas, along with multiple types of different types of anemia, which has come in now, where there's folic acid anemia, and also there's vitamin B12 anemia. Okay, so let us see how we can address these challenges. First thing is, see that there is equal food distribution. Not only that, if you see that well nourished girls are more likely to stay in school and achieve their full potential. This I would like to quote one school in Mangalore, which is a private aided school, where the headmistress, she took the initiative of allowing the children to write exams in the afternoon, so that the children can come, the girl child can come to school. She can get basic meals, as well as she gets time to study, because many of the girls would have to work at home or work outside, and then come to school and wouldn't be able to continue school. So these are the initiatives that we require for a girl child at this age. So next, very very important phase, and I think this is the most difficult phase, which I say is, that is adolescence. So this is where you see there are there's again rapid growth, there's physical changes happening, and a lot of complex emotional development. Now I've highlighted, you may see a little of I'm talking more on emotions or mental health. Why? Because all these are correlated. You have had sessions on these, I understand, with all the good speakers I have seen in the sessions. But then what I'm trying to say is that how you think is what you're going to adopt in eating too. If you have the fear for food, right? If you're scared of eating something, that is what is going to seep into you. If you're scared of fat, if you're scared of sugar, all these are fears that actually can cause problems with choosing the right food. So we need to know how we can deal with such issues. So optimal nutrition during the formative ages is very important to lay the groundwork for lifelong health. Why? Because first thing is rapid growth and change. So you see that there's accelerated growth, a lot of hormonal shifts, there's development of reproductive organs, not only that, increased energy. So if a girl is growing rapidly, especially if she's growing taller, and there are changes happening, she requires more energy. There's a lot of nutrient intake that has to be quite dense. So we say dense nutrient intake. You must have kept hearing this word. It means that there should be all the nutrients should be provided so that the child grows optimally. The key nutrients we've seen again is iron, protein, and calcium. So how does this bring about it? So now what happens is, for adolescent girls, if they eat healthy at this phase, that's when they enter adulthood healthy. But a lot of girls at this phase right now are following a lot of food fads. Then most of them are very active on social media, and social media is always something, what I say, is not your dietitian. There's always no right information that spreads around. So most of the girls are influenced by it. And then there are influencers who tell you that you need to look like this, or a girl picks up a magazine and she's shown that she should be this lean, she should have only this weight. So this is what affects at this age. A lot of my clients right now, I've seen a lot of them teens at this age are so well versed with nutrition and ask the right nutritional questions, because they have access to everything, and they have complex problems. And the complex problems would be nothing that about weight. Okay, most of them are very sensitive about weight. So I usually tell girls of this age that that is your teenage girls, that you can grow out of it. If you're underweight, you will definitely grow into it. Or if you're overweight, you need to find a good exercise routine. That's what I say, not dieting. Okay, that is something which I never use for a teenage girl, because dieting is not meant for teenage girls, because you cannot give them less food. If you give them less food, it affects their growth and development. So you need to understand where are they going wrong and how we can best help them, not cut the food, because the minute you start cutting food, you're also cutting down a lot of nutrients, essential nutrients. So not only that, you see a lot of girls also experience menstrual health problems, a lot of body image problems. As I said, most of the girls come to me that I need to look like this, or I need to dress like lose weight so I can dress like this. So these are the unique challenges that are there. With changing fashion, we have changing nutritional problems. That's what I always keep saying. So no, not only that, we see a lot of societal pressure that a girl should be of this weight to get married, she should be this tall, she should be this healthy. Yes, that is correct, but not everyone is born alike. So we need to know how we can break out of such societal norms and societal pressures. So, and all these pressures can actually affect a child. I've seen that a lot of the children come to the clinic where it's not them who want to do a change in their body, it's people around them who want to do it. For example, you're underweight, they keep saying that you're underweight, you're so underweight that look so thin, nobody will marry you. And this creates that pressure. But in a teen who's not even thinking about marriage, would be only thinking about what study she can do, which college or which university she can join, but has to take this additional burden of looking perfect to grow and to grow up and look perfect. So all these are fine points that can affect the child's mental development and growth also. So also with food choices. So when, especially as I mentioned about the underweight girls coming to me, I tell them that there's time to change. You're very young, your body is developing. Unless there's a nutritional deficiency, we'll address it. But then you're not going to be photo ready or marriage ready when you're below 16. That's what I tell them. You need to focus on eating healthy. Eventually, definitely things will get much better for you. Okay, so if I, and again I also ask them, do you, have you come on your own, that is it for you or is it for your family? With, because if it's the family pressure, the child may not be willing to do a change. So the child is comfortable in their own skin. So this is what you need to make a girl child understand. No matter how you are, how you're doing, your health is important. You focus on eating healthy rather than going through such uh, harassment or mental harassment and societal pressures. Okay. So how do we keep our children healthy? This is something which I say right now, thanks to a lot of phones and gadgets that are there and gaming and everything. Now girls don't play much. Not only that, there's a lot of, I think, academic pressure also on the girls right now, that is one thing which has changed, which usually used to be on a boy. But right now, there's a lot of academic pressure on the girls too, where they have to study, they have to go to tuitions, they have to go for such coaching and courses and everything. But then in all this, there's something that is very, very important, is exercise or activity. A lot of mothers usually ask me, what's the best activity for my young girl? So is it walking? And I said, girls do not want to walk. Okay, it's pretty boring for girls to walk, especially with a parent. So I always tell them that let them go for some classes if they like dancing, if they like that is gym or anything what they enjoy doing, something which maybe most of the time I tell them to put them for sports. Because when you go to a class, let's say you're learning badminton, that's good enough exercise. You're learning a skill or you're learning a sport, as well as you're enjoying, as and along with that you're exercising. So it should be multiple benefits. It should not be something where you go that you're walking for 30-60 minutes. Not all children are focused to do the same. It's very difficult to make the child join yoga. A lot of children are not open to it, but eventually they will get into it, because if it's implemented in school, definitely they will start following that. So even physical activity should be something that is encouraged in school. What we've seen is most of the time till 7th or so, there's physical activity and there's a lot of sports and so. But then suddenly when they come to high school, it's all about studies. Yes, it is. We all have been through it. But then what about at least 3 times a week or 4 times a week where the child is actively engaged? And then you start worrying that no, this child is not active. She does not get up from the sofa. She does not get up on time. She's so slow. She's so lazy. So these are the terms that are used. So all this can be dispelled. All this can be dispelled if you encourage your child from small to engage in sports regularly, either in team sports or either in individual, that is, let's say, cycling, or even single sports like skating. All these help in development. Of course, you may have certain challenges, maybe, or not all places would be safe. Not all of them would have the options to get these services. But then what I would say is, right now the world is open, a lot of online things that are happening. See that your child is engaged at least 3 times a week in some good activity, some physical activity every day. Every day is much better, but at least minimum 3 to 4 times. So this is how the child becomes stronger. And what I've observed is active children, those have been actively into sports, those have actively engaged in team sports, those have been in athletics, or their parents have been active. So this is one more thing I tell: parents should be active. If parents are active, children will automatically become active, because that's the environment they're getting. When they get the right environment, they see that, okay, parents are active, even I should be active, and that's how it goes. That's how it progresses. So that is why you should be the right, good example also. And as I again also mentioned, that children who are active at the teens will know how to manage exercise in the future. Now, a lot of clients who come to me sometimes have not exercised at all. Maybe after school, they haven't had any kind of physical activity or any kind of team sports, so they've not participated anything. So, what happens to such children? They are not, they do not know how, as young adults, to adapt a physical routine. Right now, when do I plan my walk? When do I plan my? How do I plan my food? All these are questions. If they're taught young, that environment is what starts from the teens. That's how you can progress later. So daily balanced meals. Now, how do we say how we can guide these girls? So one thing is, no meals should be skipped. This is something which you should always make a child understand, that all meals are important. A lot of children, especially girls, don't eat breakfast. Right? Breakfast is something which we keep talking about. It is good. It's good. It's not good. Breakfast is one meal which is always in debate. So breakfast is very, very important, especially for a growing child. So daily balanced meals, there should be enough whole grains, proteins, fruits, and vegetables. There should be a lot of iron-rich foods and calcium. More importantly, they need hot sun. Okay, as much as possible, the children should get enough hot sun, because that's when calcium can get absorbed. If vitamin D levels are low, it creates a cascade of problems, especially vitamin deficiencies can cause hormonal problems, it can cause bone problems. All these can be sorted if the child spends 10 to 15 minutes in the hot sun. So it can be a short walk from your home to the bus stop, or it can be any that is exposure to hot sun while in this during the sports time. All these cause a all these help in improving the bone development. So not only that, protein is extremely important also for growth and development. Smart snacking, this is very important. One thing is, these right now, because of too many breaks, children are snacking too much. We never had breaks as kids for snacking. We only ate main meals. But right now kids are given a lot of options for snacking, okay, which can sometimes cause something called as unhealthy snacking also. So a snack should be light. It should not be a meal. A meal should be a meal. So that should be like either roti, rice, dal, or whatever you're giving them. But a snack should be only, let's say, fruits, seeds, and something which is very low in calories and more in nutrients, rather than something which is high calorie. So nothing should come out of a packet, preferably, when it says, when it comes to a snacking. So something homemade or something natural, such as fruit and vegetable, is always better. Not only that, meals also, when they come back from school, okay, should be planned well so that they eat healthier. So every meal they get should have basic nutrients. So it's always good sometimes that I tell parents to repeat the meals that they've eaten in a day rather than making too many things for a child, because it is stressing for you too. Not only that, adolescent girls, some of you would be in let's say 11th and 12th and above. So it's good to plan your meals, always carry lunch. A lot of kids, when they're in high school, when once they come to middle, that is the middle aged, this when they when they come to college, they stop carrying healthy snacks. Okay, so they start eating more in the canteens and cafeterias, and they feel it's not cool to carry food. So this concept should not go. It should still be there. Carry your own snacks, carry healthy snacks rather than eating too much. Emergencies are cafeterias. They are not your sole nutritional source. So that is how you should look at it. Okay, so this is something which we really need to ignore. Not ignore. That is eating disorders. Okay, eating disorders are common. It's a very silent problem. Not many of them accept that they're going through this. I come across a lot of cases. I work with psychiatrists and psychologists. Ourselves, we catch such cases. So we have anorexia, we have bulimia, anorexia is a case where people, especially women, do not eat anything. They're even scared of water. Whereas, or they would be on something which is 0 calories, that is water. Then bulimia, the eating a lot and then vomiting everything out, or purging. So all these disorders, are a psychiatric problem. So purging. So all these disorders, are a psychiatric problem. So and it is a growing concern. And most of the time, the signs start in the teens. So that is are monitored. You need to observe their behavior. You should see how are they eating. If you sit at the dining table and you see how are they opting to eat the food, that is where where we can catch such certain symptoms. Now, for example, if a child is absorbing is not choosing certain types of food. For example, is avoiding, let's say, a meat food or something that is high in calories. So such thing observation, but then does not gain weight at all or has lost weight. But now don't worry if you're seeing this at home. A lot of children, they tend to have a very good metabolic rate, so not all of them are bulimic, but then there are signs. There are signs. Most of them, after they eat, immediately they'll disappear. They won't sit with the family. They will immediately rush to the rooms, or to the washrooms. Okay, so all these are signs that you need to catch. Then there are a lot of girls who will go through binge eating, where they hide and eat food due to pressures, societal pressures, or academic pressures. So all these can happen. So most of the time, it is our cultural ideas, as I said, of being certain body type, then a lot of academic stress, then the family dynamics also sometimes, where there's a lot of pressure, where if especially if it's a joint family, I've seen it where some cousins look alike and one cousin is a little different, and all these can infiltrate such problems. So these differences should be addressed. That is what I say. So look for these signs and symptoms in children. If you observe it, for example, simple one sign I caught in my clinic is that is, the girl said she cannot drink cold water. I said, why can't you drink cold water? No, my whole teeth starts tingling, and it's very difficult to drink cold water. And she had also the same body language of having an eating disorder, where she was scared of food. No, how much calories, and what if I eat a little more, and everything was very specific. So people who are very, very specific is where those are the red flags that I catch. And sadly, I just asked this girl certain questions, and I found out, and she admitted she has bulimia. Because now I mentioned the teeth, is that because most of, as I said, in bulimia, most of them vomit. When you vomit, the stomach acid starts corroding your teeth. And so that is a sign where such women will have teeth problems also. So a lot of dentists can catch bulimic cases. And this was the case that I managed to help, and then we got her treated, but it was very difficult. Even during pregnancy, she had some signs of bulimia, some episodes of bulimia, but then with a lot of psychological support and help, she has overcome it. But see, this was something that was not addressed as a teen. Okay, this is what I found out, that if this was addressed as a teen, this could have been sorted out much later. So all this can be done, and we can rectify them, give them help, look for warning signs, as I said. Look, so what are the health consequences? Most of the time, there's severe malnutrition. So you see a girl not gaining weight at all, or losing weight completely. A lot of hormonal imbalances, and all this can cause in potential infertility at the cost of being thin, or at a cost of being accepted by society. Weight that is accepted by society can cause infertility, which is something which of us can manage or change later, in the later years. Loss of bone density, which is again, a lot of girls will have repeated fractures. Right, to prevent this, we need to address these eating disorders. Not only that, a lot of girls will die of cardiac arrest if these issues are not handled well. So how do we see that? You see that you give them proper intervention. Okay, so where recognition and treatment, give them proper nutritional counseling along with psychological and medical help. So not only that, we see body image issues. As I said, we've spoken about unrealistic beauty standards. Social media is not going to help you in the long term when it comes to nutrition. So not only that, a lot of family and peer pressure we have discussed. So we need to find the root causes for all these problems. We need to encourage our child. This is the first thing. Never ever comment on the weight of your child. This is something I always tell. So being a mother myself, I've seen this, that children are very sensitive. Okay, all of us are sensitive, I think, for that matter. It's not just the child. But then here you can see that when you say let's say you look a little plump or you look a little fat in that dress, never say such things. If the child is comfortable wearing it, let them wear it. Let them do what they want, as long as they're within the limits. So, but yes, if the child is overeating, is eating a lot of junk, but there is a way positive reinforcement that you should give. You should not keep saying no, no, no all the time. Is when they do things behind your back, you tell them no junk food at all, and that's all that they're going to do once they step out of the house. That's all that they're going to eat. So you need to make them understand the balance. How can you balance both? You can still eat what you like, but you should be active. So how do you speak to your child regarding all this is very important. How much you discuss with them about food, or how you eat also will determine how your child eats also. So if you're eating healthy, eventually they will fall in line. Okay, so that is what I always tell the parents. And it's not that giving a classroom lecture every day on nutrition, that you should eat this, this is good for your bones, this is good for your height. There's a time and limit where children can listen to. Okay, so there should be help children if such children are suffering from such image issues and all. A lot of professional guidance, give them a lot of strong, they require a lot of strong support systems, and also positive food and body relationship. That is very, very important, so that they accept and understand that each food has its benefit. Okay, so not only that, we see that there's a lot of physical fitness. That is, we have discussed this. We'll go a little ahead. Then, what if your child is an athlete? So again, you need to see that if the girl child is an athlete, their nutritional requirements are very different. So here, what we see is it's not only rapid growth, but also there's development also along with the requirements for sports. So this becomes a very complex situation again, where the child is growing, requires nutrition for growth and development, as well as for athletics. So that is why giving them tailored dietary management, that is what you require. Each one will require individual dietary management, so that they can have better performance in sports, also have recovery, and also do well in terms of growth and development. Okay, so these are some of the nutrients that are very important for female athletes. That is protein, iron, calcium, and vitamin D. Carbohydrates, of course, carbohydrates are important for all age groups, but more for a girl athlete. If the girl athlete eats very, very less carbohydrates or very less energy, there are high chances that her menstrual cycle gets affected. Okay, 99 per person, the menstrual cycle gets affected. So good amount of energy is required to overcome that. If not, the body itself will try to sustain the sports. So this can cause failure in the menstrual cycle. So that is why it's important that the girls eat enough energy if they are athletic. Electrolytes, antioxidants are, of course, very important. So these are some of the strategies so that you can see that enough of fuel, pre-workout fuel, during workout fuel, you can see recovery. Okay, understanding during cycle phases, that is menstrual cycle phases, what is important during certain phase. Okay, when to load iron during a certain menstrual phase. All these are very, very important. So not only that, we should understand more about menstrual health, that if the girl eats healthy, okay, if the woman is eating healthy or a girl is eating healthy, this is something that should not be discussed. Okay, especially right now with when we have good access to food, or enough access to food for that matter, but then still menstrual health and nutrition is still a problem right now. So although women are getting all the better quality food too, but still there are deficiencies. So a lot of iron, B vitamin, magnesium, okay, to prevent cramping. Okay, most of the time cramping is due to magnesium deficiencies. All that has to be handled. Not only that, a lot of hydration. See, hydration at any age group is very, very important, especially even for a growing girl. Okay, and as well as when the child is going to get in, start her menarche. So long term health is also something that can be attained when a woman eats healthy during these formative ages. So once they're formed into all this is when we can improve and move into a better adulthood. Okay, so now you've finished with being an adolescent, you've gone to college. Now obviously you start working. So this is something which I feel that as women who have started work, who are handling both that is home and work, need to understand this. So this can be your early adulthood. Usually early adulthood and work is a little more blissful because you have people helping at home to take care of everything. But then this may not be the same when it comes to your work at your workplace. There may be a lot of unique challenges. You may not get time to cook. Okay, you may not have the energy to exercise, or you do not make time to cook and eat. All these can be problems. Not only that, if you do not eat healthy, what can happen is eventually this can affect your functioning of at the workplace. It causes energy dips. So all this can be improved if you focus more on eating healthy. So trying to maintain weight, a routine, that is one thing I always tell my clients is you need to have a routine. But then now you will ask me the question, how does a woman with children have a routine? Yes, it's possible, but then you have to have a multiple routine. You cannot say that I am going to exercise at this time. You need to keep a buffer time. That's what I always tell them. You may need to keep scheduled days. Maybe you may not be able to work out from Monday to Saturday. You can work out, let's say, 2 or 3 days when you know your work is not that heavy that day. So all these are the change in your mindset. That is what is required mainly. So not only that, women should understand about stress management and how we can look for a lot of practical strategies. So again, what you stock in your office, that is very important. You may have your own drawer, so you should have healthy snacks locked preferably so that nobody steals your healthy snacks. So not only that, prioritizing meal prep, that is extremely important so that you plan what you're going to eat during the week. So that's when you do not have to put more pressure or on what to cook in the morning. So if you have a schedule, that really helps you. Okay, or you can, if you are able to, I always tell clients, if you can afford it, you can ask someone to cook and send, which is still better. Or because that would be anytime better than eating out and eating in cafeterias or not eating at all. So planning and prioritizing meal preparations. So what we can do is weekend meal preps, healthy packed lunches, drink a lot of water, and also try to see how much of screen time use. I've seen a lot of women, they come, they say, I don't have time to exercise, but they've enough time to make a reel. with their friends. So that's why I tell them I'm not against it at all. But then you need to prioritize a little more on your time, where you can improve your skills, you can improve your eating habits at in your family. You can use the same time and energy to buy good things or cook good things, or find someone who will cook it for you. So all these are very important, so that you're nourished all this time. Now most of these girls who are usually young do not take care. They the office time, they are having fun, they move on to metro cities, where food and drink is a problem. So this is where it starts affecting your health. So that is why it's very important that once you've moved out of your home, also you need to know how to take care of yourself. So if you've been given good eating habits as a child, you continue to take that into your adulthood also. So but if you've been highly restricted, also can be a problem. So that is why you should have an open mind when it comes to all this. And all of you should also advise people that how you can change, or how you can change your environment, or how you can give the right advice to people. All this is extremely important. So we can see we've spoken about all this. So let's see, look at what are the health issues that a lot of women at work go through. So there can be PCOS nowadays, PCOD, PCOS. This become a common problem. Every second patient of mine has these issues, mainly because they've neglected health. Most of the time, these issues start mostly after 16 years. That's what I've seen. Most of the girls start with these problems then, because that's when you're highly stressed, you're preparing for board exams, you may be popping the wrong things in your mouth, you're not eating healthy. All these causes hormonal problems in the future. So if girls are taken well care in the teens, that, as I said, you can prevent the problems such as PCOD, PCOS, which are nothing but polycystic ovarian syndrome or disease. And these diseases, especially thyroid or so, can all cause fertility problems. That is why it's very important that they eat a healthy diet with not too much of carbohydrates, less protein, or less fats, and healthy protein. So this will help to regulate the hormones. Okay, so see, sleep also is very important. Most of the girls do not sleep enough. So this is where again these hormonal problems trickle in. So because of board exams, most of the time the girls sleep only for 2 hours, 3 hours, and all these causes the hormonal problems. So not only that, you should see how to look into being not being exhausted. Of course, you cannot be high energy the whole day, but there is a certain limit. If you are crashing by 2 p.m., okay, that means you need to do some lifestyle change. If you're able to work effectively till 6 or 7 p.m., that means you have the right energy. Anytime after 5 or 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., if you're feeling exhausted, is normal. But much before that, if you by 11 or 12, you're already sleepy, it means that you require a lifestyle problem change. Definitely change your lifestyle. So not only that, important thing is to prevent lifestyle diseases and to go for regular health checkups. This is something which women do not do. They need to get regular health checkups done, so that they do not get any health problems, not only that, and prevent any health problems, or treat it at the base. So now, for example, the first sign for PCOD or PCOS is changes in insulin levels. Okay, so this should be something which should be done. If a girl checks her insulin level, if she's overweight, she sees signs of PCOS or PCOD, that is irregular periods, facial hair, or weight gain. All these are small signs that are there. So if those are there, checking insulin levels will help in monitoring and bringing it down and preventing certain problems. So that is why any changes in the body should be reported to a doctor. You're seeing that the weight is going increasing, or feeling exhausted, you should do comprehensive blood test to find out where are you going wrong and what better can be done. Okay, so these are the key nutrients which we usually see, that is iron, calcium, folate, and essential vitamins. So now vitamin, that is especially B complex, and minerals such as zinc are very important. A lot of women are wondering, why do they get acne, or why do they have skin problems during these times? It's mainly because of deficiencies. Okay, but then it's not a supplement that is going to help. It is your lifestyle also that is going to, really help you. So so eating that is all sorts types of foods which different colors, so that is your yellow, red, orange, all these can help in improving your health and skin. Okay. So after all this young adulthood comes, the most important part, what women are raised for is, pregnancy. This is where there's dual nutrition, right? Where both the child and the mother require it. But right now, since women are overweight, we tell them not to eat for two. But if the women are underweight or are from the rural places, they obviously will have to eat for two. Okay, but in the urban areas, we don't need to eat for two because weight is already normal or high. So usually tell you can accommodate within that. But nutrients, this could be for carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, but it is not for micronutrients. So again, protein, iron, calcium, folate should be there. So one trip I tell you that is, if you're planning for a pregnancy, it is very important that you start folate much better or much earlier, or eat foods that, especially green leafy vegetables, which are very very rich in folate. So this is how a healthy pregnancy can progress. So most of the time women may have not eaten healthy pre-pregnancy, will have, and this can affect the pregnancy. But then of course, it's the chance of very less right now, but then of course in certain areas, rural areas, these problems still exist. Okay, so if a woman eats healthy, especially has enough folate, she can prevent miscarriages. That is, most of the miscarriages happen because of this term, that is neural tube defects. That is where the brain of the child and the spine of the child does not develop. This happens because of folate deficiency. So now, if you are a person who says, I don't like anything green, now you know what a folate deficiency can do. So for a healthy progression of pregnancies, the key nutrient is folate. But the growth of the child obviously will depend on more protein and more energy. Okay. Even now in this scenario, we're still dealing with child mortality. A lot of children are born of even well-nourished women. That is also are born with low birth weight. Most of the time, it is due to maternal health issues itself. So, and right now, a lot of women have gestational diabetes. That is diabetes during pregnancy. It is a temporary type of diabetes, but then women get diabetes earlier in such cases. So maintaining weight before, during, and after the pregnancy is very very important. But then in reality it may not happen that well, but then you can try your level best to come out of these issues. You can eat healthy, or you can exercise, maintain your weight, check your blood sugars. Mostly women who get gestational diabetes are mostly who have family history of diabetes, or are women who are having children very late because of now work pressures, or so, or they want to set their careers and have children later. Many women have these issues. So you need to check that if you have a risk of it, and you have to see that you manage the risk. Of course, children are born healthy, but there are high chances that there may be premature deliveries, or there may be issues with the birth weight also, or the child could be extremely high in birth weight or very low in birth weight. So all these should be addressed initially. So, what are the factors that are affecting the nutritional status? You can see we have discussed this already. Economic factors, we require gender dynamics, that is very important. Then a lot of education and healthcare access. So even whether it's pregnancy or so, they should be aware of what to eat, what not to eat, and how much to eat. So all these are things that should be addressed earlier. So we can see the key nutrients. You can read them when we share the PPT. So I'm not going much deep into this. So so next is lactation. So this is something which is very, very important. And a lot of women are, right now there is a movement to breastfeeding, but still many women are still against it, or they are not comfortable doing it. But then this is the best thing for the child. So for again, you require more nutrients than you required during pregnancy. So usually we think pregnancy is the most important event. Yes, it is the most important event, but the event is when the child is born. So how do you nourish the child later, especially if it's a girl child? Okay. Now I'm not saying boy child should be neglected. Definitely not. But then a girl child is who's going to get the next generation in. So you have to put in the maximum always for any child for that matter, but never neglect any on or do any gender discrimination. So eating enough protein, drinking a lot of water, okay, eating that is a lot of nutrients, especially following certain traditional things. I'm always for traditional ideas sometimes, because it may have worked. You may have some community options where they say, you should have this increases breast milk, or this is good post delivery. I think you should follow it. I mean, there must have been some scientific base, but then it should not be something that could be more of a superstition. If it's a superstition, then you can avoid it. But then if it's something that is helping, then you should follow it. So most of the time for nutritional status for lactation, most of the time it is high energy, enough of protein, enough of water. Okay, water is something which a lot of women neglect during this time. Okay, so milk is a fluid, so obviously you require a lot of water, and that's how the child gets the best nutrition. So if a woman is well nourished, okay, before, during pregnancy, so the outcome of the pregnancy, that is postpartum or post delivery, the nutrition can be the best nutritional status continues there. So the quality of milk improves, okay, or the quality of milk will improve, but at the cost of the mother's nutrition. So mother will lose calcium from the bones, iron from her blood. All this is pulled in to provide for the child. So that is why eating well before, during, and after a pregnancy is very important. So next, the most important phase comes the menopause. Right now, a lot of discussion is there online right now about perimenopause. I think none of the women have always thought about it. It was only adulthood and then menopause. But right now we have so many phases coming before that. But then I think, yes, it could be addressed, but I feel we shouldn't focus too much on it. See, all these are natural, processes in our life. We do not require any special diet actually as such. But then taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical health along with good diet definitely will help you to, slide over very well during these phases. So of course, menopause can be a very difficult time for most women. So because if you've eaten healthy, that is, you've had enough calcium. Okay, a lot of the times you're advised, you must have seen supplement ads that say have supplements, calcium supplements after 40. So these calcium supplements after 40 may not work if you have had not taken enough calcium before that. Okay, it's not going to solve, or become a miracle healer. So it's best that calcium intake should be monitored from a younger age. That's how you can have healthier bones in the old age. Okay, we never think about this. We think that after 40, if we start a calcium supplement, our problems are solved. No, it has to go on. You need to see that, oh, you had a pregnancy. Let's say menopause is coming at 50. Your last pregnancy was at 30. That's 20 years. You had to load up on enough calcium to reach there. Okay, you cannot say that now, since I'm going through menopause, I'm going to start taking a calcium tablet. It's not going to help. So you should see that there is something called as what do you say, supporting bone health should start from much earlier, so that you move into these ages with stronger bones. Now here, why are we focusing on this? Because estrogen hormone, which was helping you all this time, is now getting lesser. So that this is when your bone health starts suffering, your skin changes. So to support that, if you've been having a better lifestyle all this time, can support a better menopausal phase. And so mindful eating, why is that a thing? Because a lot of women gain weight during these times. So if they maintain a certain weight, many women gain weight because there are changes that are happening in the body. So you need to see how you can handle these symptoms. Very important nutrients for menopausal women. First is vitamin D. So vitamin D is essential all throughout. The vitamin D deficiency is the latest deficiency we can say right now. Because see, if you're a working woman, most of the time you're in an air conditioned office or you're inside a building. Very rarely, many of us nowadays walk. Not only that, most of us drive to work or take public transport where there's not much of sun exposure. And right now, a lot of foods themselves are low in vitamin D. Earlier, we used to say that milk had vitamin D, or certain animal foods had vitamin D. or even ghee was a source of vitamin D. Only if the animal you've taken the product from, let's say if the cow is healthy, the milk products that come from the cow are healthy. Okay, right now they are trying to fortify. So fortification is very important right now. So if you see that a lot of companies or any local cooperative societies are adding vitamin D into the milk, because that is very important, especially during rest. So if the 40s, the vitamin D status is checked, the menopausal stage will be much better. So start early. I always tell, start testing early, start making changes early. Okay, but you do not have to be too paranoid that I have to do this much, or do not take supplements unless prescribed by a doctor. I'm not even saying a dietitian for that matter. Okay, a lot of dietitians will try to push supplements, which they should. They can advise supplements, but it should be taken only under the careful supervision of a doctor and with your blood work. Unless you've done your blood work, please do not take any of this supplements unless prescribed by the doctor. So calcium, that's when your safety net to prevent heart attacks also come down. So that is why it's essential for cardiovascular health, for mood stability. Okay, so add a lot of fish, add a lot of flaxseed, add a lot of nuts. So you can get a mix of both omega 3, omega 6. Of course, omega 3 is the most important. Vegetarians will have to put more effort to get omega 3, so that they prevent such health problems. Then B12 again prevent such health problems. Then B12 again, a lot of women feel very exhausted during this time, where B12 deficiencies are common. So this is when this can happen if a lot of women give up animal foods. Okay, a lot of women give up animal foods. So a lot of antioxidants. This is something, now you must have heard of the anti-inflammatory diet. It's totally viral on most of social media. It's nothing that but you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables of different colors. Okay, there's nothing that nobody can sell you any anti-inflammatory diet. So it's basically eating a lot of antioxidants, which again is very important in the menopausal phase. Okay, so we have a lot of symptoms that a menopausal woman goes through. So hot flashes, weight management, mood and sleep, okay, joint and bone health, and heart health. So all this can be managed if you follow the advice which I've given in the earlier slides. So physical fitness, this is something which I never leave any session without talking. So because it is very important to build strength and wellness, right? So this is how most of us know that, that is how important learning certain activities is. For example, see, exercise should not be punishment. This is something which I always tell clients. It should be something fun which you enjoy doing. Okay, if it's a walk, you walk. If you like strength training, you do that. If you're a swimmer, you love swimming, do it. Do something which works for you. It works in your system, works in your environment. For example, you have an access to a good gym, you have access to a good pool, you have an access to a good park. Use that. Now some of us cannot go out, so there's a lot of online classes that are happening. For example, I myself am being trained in Bharatanatyam at this age, so it's something which I can use for physical fitness as well as a skill. So all these help us in navigating through health, this crisis of maintaining weight. That is a problem for most women. So to improve the regular activity will help your heart, it will help your bone density. Strength training, that is weight training. I'm not saying do heavy weight lifting, but I'm saying lightweight training is very important to maintain bone density. We always think calcium, calcium, calcium. No, it is also exercise, bone bearing exercises. So that is why bone density can be improved if you do strength training. Not only that, of course, exercise makes you feel happier. Okay, so it can help you prevent so many diseases and you can be stronger. Okay, the sign of health is if you can sit down and get up at a certain age, sit on the floor and get up. So those are all things which you need to look for. Your pelvic floor health, all this is very important. I'm sure the other people must have spoken about it. Okay, so what are the types of physical activity? So a cardiovascular, of course, great. So if you love dancing, you like swimming, all these really help you. Flexibility and balance, this is very important. A lot of women after a certain age do not have the balance. They cannot, they miss the step, or they the that is the balance when they're walking or so that is why flexibility is very important. Most of the time back problems are because of lack of flexibility. I'm sure you have sessions on yoga coming up, so I'm sure that will be dealt there. So flexibility and balance is very, very important. Daily movement. Now, I'm not talking that you have to run. Now, a lot of women come and ask me, I'm not exercised, I'm 50 plus, I've never done any exercise as such other than housework. So I tell them start small. Okay, start taking 5 to 10 minutes walk. Okay, do what you're comfortable. Be active. Many women, what has happened is they have moved from urban rural areas to urban areas, maybe from a house, independent house, to an apartment. So again, there's lack of activity. So you need to schedule activity. Take short walks. Be active. Walk after meals. Walk for 10 minutes every day after every meal. So all that will help you a lot. So strength training will help you in building muscle mass. So this is what keeps your joints strong. If you want to avoid knee replacements and hip replacements, it is muscle mass. It is strength training that will really help you. Okay. So a lot of aerobic activities, strength training, flexibility and balance. Then, so we need to make a routine, how we can manage to stay healthy and, be healthy. So how do you what are a few tips that I can give for women? That is, one thing is fill your plate with the right food, a lot of colorful fruits, vegetables, grains, lean proteins, a lot of iron, very important. Less processed food. Okay, as I say, reduce the amount of packet tearing. That's what I say, opening a packet. So as much as possible, try to eat something that is home cooked or very natural. So this will help you prevent a lot of diseases. Stay always active and stay hydrated. Okay, support lot of initiatives, supplementations, programs, school pro nutrition. Maybe most of you, if you see this happening around you, you can help them, you can advise them, and encourage such programs to continue. Create more awareness programs. If you're not from a nutrition background like me, so you can at least see that the word is spreading, the right word spreads. Okay, that you show children that from small, lot of activities should be done with food, how to combine food, how to eat food, what is locally available. Make children understand, or all of you should know, what are your local superfoods. You may be coming from all over India. All of you will have your own local foods. You do not need to eat kiwi from New Zealand, or an apple from somewhere else. You need to eat your own food, which is there right around you. So this is something which you should make everyone aware. What are the superfoods in your back door? That is what you need to see. So if we do that, this is how we can get a lot of positive stories where a child will not miss school, will be healthy without anemia. And the word is spreading. I can teach my friends to eat healthy. So this is how we can transform the life of a woman. Okay. So nourishing women would definitely nourish India. So we can see that it's a national investment, right? So when you invest into women's health, nutrition, it's definitely, you're investing into a better future for India. You're making smarter women, you're making healthier women. So obviously the word spreads. And there's empowerment through knowledge. So unless you get the right knowledge. So as I say, for the last, social media is not your dietitian. You need to, nor is WhatsApp University. You need to get proper information from good websites, not chat GPT answers, which will pick up from anywhere and give you an answer on what's happening. So get the right information, make the right plans for you for your future. Okay, so these are some of the references that I have seen through the matter for, and thank you very much. I know I've not interacted with you all, but I think this can be a time for interaction for all of us right now.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very insightful session on the role of nutrition at different stages of life. Uh, the participants, now we want a question and answer session. Uh, you can ask. Your audio is unmuted. Ma'am, there is a question. In market, different types of rice is available, like brown or white. Which is best? Say for sugar and jaggery.
So am I audible? Okay. The rice which is locally sourced is the best rice. Brown rice is something that is unprocessed. I think it is hyped because none of us have always eaten brown rice, right? Brown rice is something which the natural layer has not been removed. So there are a lot of anti-nutritional factors. So where any type of rice which your family has been eating is safe. You don't need to change the type of rice. But yes, when it comes to white rice, what has happened right now is it is highly processed. That is one thing I've seen, that it is not milled like before. So try to go for something which is more hand pounded, okay, or which is less processed than the pure white rice that is available right now. Okay. So, and about sugar in jaggery, I think that was the question. Any kind of sugar, whether you take table sugar, whether you take jaggery, whether you take honey, all should be taken in limited quantities. Okay, it's not that if it is jaggery, you can eat more. All of them have the same calories. All of them have the same carbohydrates. Only thing is, jaggery has iron because it is made in iron vessels. Okay, it is processed in iron vessels, so that is why it has a little more iron. Okay, so any sugar you take should be taken in limited quantities. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a question by Mamta Sharma. What is the right time and right way to eat seeds like chia or flax seeds?
Okay, chia and flax seeds can be eaten at any time. Okay, there's no restriction on the timings, but then you shouldn't overdo it. Now, just because superfood chia seeds has come from South America does not mean that you have to load up on it. There can be side effects also. So, whatever you do, start with very less quantity. Okay, you have to drink a lot of water. You have to soak them very well. Then only it's going to help. Don't overeat it also. Start with little, very half, let's say half teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, which is more than enough in a day. It can be had anytime. Okay, that was your question. It can be had anytime, but preferably nobody would want to eat it with the meal. So you can have it anytime between meals or early morning.
Ma'am, a question from Gayatri K. How to increase vitamin D count?
Right now, vitamin D levels can only be increased by supplementation. There's no other choice right now because a lot of foods are highly deficient in vitamin D. So if you have an option of, buying milk, which is vitamin D fortified, that could help. A lot of milk products are right now fortified. Okay, that is, they're adding vitamin D in it. So you can opt such products. Get out in the hot sun. That is very important. Okay, even if you're chronically vitamin D deficient, it means that you need to go out in the hot sun at least for 15 to 20 minutes every day, or every year annually supplement. You can, but you'll have to check your levels before you supplement. Now, just because I tell you please don't go and buy a vitamin D tablet, no, you should not take a vitamin D supplement every day. Okay, again, there are side effects. So it should be taken in phases. If your levels are low, the doctor will advise your dosage. And every year you can repeat the dosage, but you can repeat the dosage in 50%. So if this year, if your vitamin D levels were low, it means that you may be chronically going to be low in vitamin D. So what you can do is, after this year's supplement, same time next year, if you've supplemented in December, same time next year, you can again repeat the same supplementation. But you can take a lesser course, because unless you check your blood levels, you cannot take a supplement. Okay, so vitamin D is important. No foods right now contain it. You may find some list online, but right now very less, unless it is fortified. The foods are fortified. Okay.
A question from Karuna Jadhav. For vitamin D from sunlight, what is the best time to get?
Okay, the best time to get vitamin D would be anytime, actually. There's no timings. But then why we say, you must have come across this point where they say before 10 and after 3, because the sunlight is not harsh. That is the reason. That is because to prevent UV radiation exposure. But then anytime during the day is fine. You can get the same amount of, it's not that early morning vitamin D levels are more. It's not. It is your skin exposure that is important. How much of skin, at least, your that is the color of clothes and the amount of skin that is being exposed is what is going to help in vitamin D absorption, not the timings. the timings have been created to avoid UV radiation. So that is why we say 10 to 3 avoided, because it's very hot. So anytime before 10 and after 3 is of course good, but anytime during the day also is safe if you're able to minimize or minimize or manage the sun exposure.
One question. Suggest me about B12.
See, B12 deficiency is common right now, but then it comes from animal products only. So animal products will include milk products and any products that are available from animals. So such products are rich in vitamin B12. The symptoms will be the same as iron deficiency. Okay, most of the time we think iron deficiency or we feel the same symptoms. We feel exhausted and tired. And then when we go and see our hemoglobin is normal. But then most of the time vitamin B12 deficiency will manifest the same way. So if you take a lot of animal products, such as if you're a vegetarian, B12 comes from milk and milk products. If you're a non-vegetarian, if you eat a range of animal products, you will definitely have enough of B12 and you can prevent this problem. Another reason for B12 deficiency is acidity. A lot of women, because of certain ages, let's say post 40 45, because of weight gain or poor eating habits, come down with the gastric issues or acidity problems. Such people may also end up with vitamin B12 problems. So that is why, if that is the root cause, please get that checked. If you have a root cause of vitamin B12 deficiency, you can take more of animal products, that is milk products and other animal foods.
Thank you, ma'am. Last one question. If the participants can ask. Yeah, any other question? Yes, ma'am. Here's a question, ma'am, by Sri Vidya. Can you please explain why cramps are coming when our feet exposed to cold? Is that deficiency?
No, not at all. This could be due to any temperature changes or so. Definitely not. During this time, it's a little common for circulation to change, especially during the cold season. That's why you see more of joint problems coming in, or that is body pain and such, tingling sensation or cramping. It is mainly due to some circulation issues that happen during the cold. But then just check the amount of calcium, magnesium, vitamin D, or focus on eating more foods in calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. This can help in these cramping problems. Another thing is hydration. If you're dehydrated, also there can be cramping. Most of the women who drink less water will have these issues more. So that also needs to be checked.
Ma'am, Sridhya ma'am has asked one more question. I have very cool dreams, but no.
Okay, so I think we need to elaborate more on that. So, of course, varicose veins usually happen because maybe it could be a professional problem, that is, you're standing a lot most of the time, or it could be because of hereditary or your weight. So, if your weight is high, you need to lose weight. That is how you can reduce varicose veins problem. Now, please don't try ABC juice and such things, because all these are harmful. You need to speak to a doctor and find out what is the reason. So most of the time, if it is weight, you need to lose weight. That is how you can reduce the amount of varicose veins, or stop or get it treated, or stop the progress. Okay, so it's nothing that there's no magic food to this. It's just your lifestyle, exercise, and your medical intervention that can help. Lose weight if you're overweight. That definitely helps.
Ma'am, Dr. Udaya had a question. Is it normal for an 18-year girl to get severe stomach pain during periods?
Okay, we do not say it is normal, but it is common. Okay, so see, usually they say in a very happy, perfect world, no girl should experience any pain. But then, if it is mild pain or mild discomfort, is normal. Okay, but if it is severe, then it has to be medically treated, because that could be the reason. There could be some deficiencies, or there could be certain problems. Most of the time, magnesium, calcium deficiencies, or not eating healthy. But then again, what we've seen is A lot of girls usually grow out of it if they fix their eating habits. But see, painful periods is common, but mild discomfort is normal. If it is severe, where a girl can't walk, get up, then it is something that needs to be medically addressed. You need to talk to the doctor and find out, meet a dietitian and find out what are the deficiencies. We can definitely help out in such cases.
Ma'am, the last question for this session. I am 56 years old and I'm 74 kg. I have been having severe knee pain for a while and I'm trying to lose weight. Can you suggest some way I can achieve it in a healthy way?
Okay, see, 54 years is definitely a time where all these problems come because you have postmenopause. Then there is, if your weight is high, also causes knee problems. Now, with knee problems, I'm sure I understand you were unable to exercise also. So you need to tweak your diet a bit and see how you can reduce some of your calories. You can't do a drastic reduction in calories, but you can reduce the amount of calories you eat a little by some. Secondly, see how you can exercise. Of course, you can't may not be able to exercise normally. You need to talk to a physiotherapist and find out what movement exercises can be done every day. Also, see how much of water you're drinking. That will help you a lot. So all these three things you can do to improve your weight at that age.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am. Now I request all the participants to switch on their cameras for a group photo. Participants, I kindly request to switch on the camera for a group photo.
Just close the share. Huh?
Yeah, sure.
Right?
I request the participants to on the cameras. Yes. Thank you. As we conclude this enriching session, I extend our sincere vote of thanks to our resource person, Mrs. Sanjana M. Shenoy, for delivering a highly informative and inspiring FTP session on nutrition across lifespan from womb to wisdom. Ma'am, your insightful perspective and practical guidance have truly enhanced our understanding of nutrition at every stage of life. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been lovely being here.
I also take this opportunity to thank all the participants for your active involvement. Thank you. Participants, kindly note, we have shared the Google form in chat box as well as WhatsApp group for your valuable feedback. Kindly fill it. And kindly note, the second session for this day will start in 5 minutes. Thank you once again.